Hi everyone, this is Stephen here from Share Navigator, and this is your options and futures trade update. So we're looking at our high probability trades. We've two on at the moment. We've also got a bull put spread and a bear call spread on. Again, all of these are high probability trades, and you can see every single one of them is in profit at the moment, and because we put the odds in our favor. So first of all, looking at our 620 short put, just a reminder, that's where we're basically sold an insurance policy in SPY, which is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, not to fall below 620. It was as simple as that. And the probability in that trade, as you're going to see now in 1 second, is extremely high here. I think it's marked at 100% at the moment, which means it's probably 99.98% or something like that. Potential profit here. So you can see here, out of our max profit potential here, we're at 85%. So we've another potential $75 of profit to be made in that trade. And we've already made $423 of clear profit on the trade at the moment. So we could close that down. We might do that. But I'm going to kind of shift over very quickly to our other trade, which is the ratio put spread. Slightly different trade. Pretty much the same thing. It's a high probability trade, but our break even in this trade is a little bit higher at 635, and it's just a different combination where we put in a bear put spread combined with a short put, and you can see we've made $476 profit on that. We've 82% of our max. Now that's not of our max return; it's slightly different. But of the premium we actually took in, which was $580 initially, there's $103 of value left. So remember, it's a minus number there because we're kind of pretty much short on a leg here. And the minus means that if we were to buy ourselves out of it, that's what we would have to pay. So if that disintegrates to zero, which is what we hope with this trade, then we actually, all that transfers over to the unrealized P&L side of things. So those trades are going great. But what I want to do is flip back to the charts just for a second and show you. S&P's gone back in a nice run here. Very good. But look what's happening today. S&P is down 0.5% in pre-market. Now, it's still early days yet, but that's because of Bitcoin. Look what's happening with Bitcoin. Down 4% today, 5% today. So again, I did a video explaining the relationship now between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin and how they're starting to move in tandem. And you can see here's another example. Again, Bitcoin down big today. S&P 500 futures are down too. So again, I kind of reminded people again that, just be careful of this little recovery here because it's happened before on the way down here. It happened once, happened twice, and then we resumed the downtrend. And is this going to be the case again? We won't know. So this is going to be really important here to see, does this actually make its way down to this area here and hold? So that's what people who are looking to take fresh new positions in Bitcoin will want to see. You'll want to see that low hold. And if it doesn't hold and it starts creating a new low, I think we go to 77,000 on this. So that's going to be an important, critical, technical area, I suppose, on the way down. And if that makes its way down, so will the S&P 500, in my opinion. Okay, we've got the Fed out next week with interest rates. That's going to be important. And we have a lot of inflation data this week as well, which is going to count towards it. So just keep an eye on Bitcoin because it might present an opportunity down the line to go long. And we've set up here the two instruments you can trade it with to keep it simple, IBIT and BMNR. One is more leveraged than the other, but you can see in pre-market, both of those are down. So for me, I think this low gets a retest on Bitcoin, which brings the S&P 500 down. That brings me back to this ratio put spread. I remember saying to you in a couple of webinars ago, I'm looking to actually get out of this 660 long put because I believe the market will continue upwards into the end of the year and even through next year. So I've no problem being naked on two puts here at 650. Now this would be higher risk than normal, but that's just a personal thing for me. And what I'm looking to do here is actually sell my 660 put with as much value as possible. Now, it's music to my ears to see the market pull back a bit today. I'm hoping that pullback continues. And if we can get SPY closer to, let's say, 670 or somewhere around there, I might just sell that 660 long put that I own and leave out the naked 650 puts. I think I'll benefit from that. So I'm liking that. The little jump in implied volatility today is going to help my 660 long put. So that's what I'm looking for today. And that's and maybe over the next few days, I might get my opportunity to exit out of this. We'll see. But I'm certainly going to leave that on. Again, for those of you who aren't comfortable with this or less certain, just leave on the entire trade. Your break even is at 635. So you have a probability here of about 93% of making a profit if you just left the entire trade on. My one is reducing that probability slightly in order to maximize return. And everybody will be different on that. Okay. So just bear that in mind. And then, we've lined up Bitcoin before. There's potential call option trades. We can be doing this and we can be selling puts, but I still think it's too early. And the reason is, my view is that we might get a retest of this low, at least a retest of this low or close to it, which will give you more premium on those particular instruments. But certainly the volatility is significant here at the moment. The premiums on these are significant. Having said all of that, there is significant downside potential here. So you need to be careful as well. And so just be aware of that. And I would much rather see us hit 75, 77,000 on Bitcoin before we'd even start considering taking positions there. And we might get that this week or even sooner. So just to put this move into context, we're down 4% at the moment. It's only another 6% to get down to this low. That's all it is another 6% to get down here. That could happen in the next couple of days. And then if that doesn't hold, I think we're certainly going down to this area here. Okay. And that's what I'm watching for. And then I think at that stage, I would be happy to maybe start considering positions there. But remember, what's happening at the moment, the very thing that brought Bitcoin all the way up is now actually bringing it back down again. And that's the institutional investment and the rebalancing of portfolios that might be happening now is causing stress on some market makers in Bitcoin. And there's for sales going on, which has caused this run on it. I think when that all plateaus and evens out, there's a good chance we're going to start making our way towards those highs again. So that's my own opinion on it, but it's how low do we go first? And it is something that has, it's relatively new. It's still relatively new. And so there's nothing to say that it won't go back to 50,000. So you have to be very, very cognizant of that before you even consider taking positions. Okay, for now, guys, happy days with the S&P 500 trades. The high probability trades work. Not going to do it with my 620 short put for now. The only action I'm considering taking, again, just to remind you, is on my ratio put spread at the 660 strike. Looking to maybe take that one off when the time is right. But that's not going to happen today. It might happen throughout this week, but it's not going to happen today. And I will alert you if I do take action. Okay, thanks and bye for now.